So for the past couple of weeks, it has brought my attention that Baddies is finally succumbing to its end, considering that right now it is not really in a great state, considering that a lot of Baddies content creators have been leaving, and chances are Baddies might become like The Hood, a game that was just abandoned and used by bad people. So, what even happened to Baddies? Why did it went from being a great game to suddenly just dying out? And what do I mean by bad people? Well, that is what this video is all about. Today, I will be discussing the rise of Baddies and its downfall. Now, in case if you have been living under a rock and you don't know what this game is, Baddies is a street-like game, and you might have heard of it by The Hood or The Streets or those types of games, except this game is more of a feminine style, but instead of fighting with guns, you fight with weapons such as like Stanley, pepper spray, purses, like any like girly stuff related that can be used as a combat. Now, Baddies first grew its popularity around like 2024 or 2025, and back then it was just an underrated game. As someone who first played it when it was at the beginning of starting to get popular. Now, back then, Baddies was actually a game that every Roblox player has ever asked for. The prices were not crazy, the concept of the game was actually fair and more fun. Now, bear that in mind, because as Baddies continued to grow, all of that suddenly changed. And the best weapons at that time were weapons like the stop sign, the spike bat, the kitty Stanley, and the spike purse. But now, it is more than just those weapons. However, it wasn't a big of a problem at the time since the weapons there were easy to get, like the stop sign and the spike bat. But for the kitty Stanley, you just need to get VIP for it, which back then VIP wasn't that expensive. And same thing with the spike purse. You still need to get the spike purse from spinning the wheel, which back then the spins there were cheap. Overall, the main point of Baddies is to just be based off of those girl fights that you see in school or in other places, just pulling each other's wigs and stuff like that. So now you know the history of Baddies and how it became to be. Now we will get on with the main question. Why is Baddies dying? So, as we all know, Baddies has already show signs that they are money hungry. Or it's not even signs, it just makes it so obvious that they're only caring about money and not about their community. Because I remember back in the day, back when Baddies was only underrated, the spins for the wheel were only 29 or 59, I believe. I don't have the evidence, but I'm pretty sure you can ask people who have been playing Baddies since when it was first created. But yeah, it wasn't expensive at the time. But now that the game has started to rise and gain popularity, for some reason the developers just thought that it was a good idea to increase the prices into an insane level. So now with the skin bundles, you would have to pay almost 2,000 or just almost 2,000 Robux for skins. Almost everything would either cost around 100 or 1,000. Now let's be real, Baddies, there are 13-year-olds or just kids younger playing your game. How is a little kid going to be able to buy all of that stuff, or at least one thing that costs at least 100 or 1,000 Robux? If they use their mom's credit card, they're gonna get in trouble for that. Also, don't even get me started on how they would keep bringing back the same items over and over again, like brass knuckles, kitty purse, for example. They've brought those things back 3 times, even though there's probably most people by now that have already spent so much of their Robux and they have already gotten it, and they've been waiting to see another Baddies update just to find out that the item is something that they already have. Baddies, what is this? Moving on, the next reason on why Baddies could be dying, which this one is probably obvious, the player base, the toxicity in the game. Or it's not even the game itself, but it's just the players that have severe anger issues for no reason. There will be those times where I would drag someone and next thing I know, I just get jumped by their by them and their whole friends, and it just becomes like a whole team against one person, all because I dragged them. And this leads to like unfair fights, like a whole team against one person, or just being outnumbered, or just people like randomly jumping into 1v1s, which causes like this huge like toxic and hatred towards like other players. And it's even worse on voice chat. So pretty much it's like the same thing, like with the downfall of the hood, just toxic player base there, and it sucks. Plus, I've heard people's stories on how they played the game and they just like kept getting harassed by others, especially with like verified checkmark users. They would just get harassed for being unknown. Now, what it means is that when someone does not know who this YouTuber or this like influencer is, even though they are verified, they like don't know who they are or why they're even famous, so they just call them unknown. And it gets worse. So not only people would get harassed in the game, but they would also get clipped and like be posted on like TikTok or Instagram or just any other like social media platform, which that is basically considered like online harassment, because why are we making fun of someone all because they lost a fight? Especially when it's a verified checkmark user. Like, just because they're famous, that doesn't mean they have to be perfect or like super pro at the game. Like, calm down. And now we have gotten to our very last point, and that is exploiters or the lag. So remember how I said earlier that Baddies only cares about like money? Well, to prove that, the game is known to be not only the most problematic game, but to also be the most laggiest one of all time. And even like so many players have been complaining about it and how it like stops them from like fighting back, and it like sabotages their fighting skills. And also how there will be like so many like exploiters like in Baddies nowadays, and it has gotten so bad to the point where like Baddies, like they just stop like caring about it. Like I think they used to have like a little support ticket that you can go to report any like hackers, but I guess they removed it because now like they kind of just gave it all to Roblox's job, which we all know that Roblox doesn't do their job. Like it's like Roblox is like already like into some drama right now, especially as I'm recording this. So in conclusion, these are like the main reasons on why so many like Baddies content creators have been like quitting the game, and just even quitting like making videos about the game. Like some of them have either like moved on to a whole new content, or they just like quit their online career entirely. So yeah, overall, Baddies, if you're watching this, I know you can do so much better than this. Just please, for the love of God, lower down the prices. Like, okay, like you're still gonna make money. Like, just relax with the prices, alright? Like, you still got like kids like playing your game. You don't want them to get in trouble by like stealing their mom's credit card and stuff like that. And also, fix the lag. Like, listen to your community. Like, if you want your game to like get more popular, then might as well like at least like show some sympathy or caring towards your community right now.